Welcome back to another episode of Happiness Now. I'm Mansi and I'm with Narayani and Shurjo. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Guys, today we decided to talk about the power of words. And in scientific healing affirmations, Paramahansa Yogananda said that the spoken words are sounds occasioned by the vibrations of thought. Thoughts are vibrations set forth by the ego or by the soul. And every word you utter should be potent with soul vibration. How do we do that? Simple enough.
Before we even get to ego and soul, because that's a realm that's subtler for our awareness, as at least right now for many of us. First, let's just talk about the power of word itself, even if it's like an egoic word. What's this power? Because we need to learn to harness this power before then we can do something with it, so to speak. Affirmations, prayers, all of them require our words. They require us to speak our intentions. But a lot of people will realize and must have seen in their lives that their prayers don't get manifested, that the affirmations they're saying, good health and nothing's wrong with me, and whilst it's not necessarily translating into reality. And that often happens because our words don't have power. And how do our words gain power is the first question. In Ashtanga Yoga, or in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is pretty much the roadmap to self-realization or to the attainment of the highest, whatever that may mean for you, the very first step are the yamas, or the kind of don'ts, like the controls. And within that, the first is non-lying. And it's interesting that Patanjali would establish that as really the starting point of the journey at all. Non-lying, or truthfulness, is this ability or this necessity within us to constantly distort truth, distort reality. Somebody says, are you coming? Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes, but we have no intention. We're still half an hour away, or whatever. We've not even gotten out of bed. I'm already in the taxi, and we just say these things. Oh, yeah, I'll do this today. Oh, I'll definitely come and see you, so on and so forth. We think they don't matter, as long as I'm not lying, as long as I'm not saying some sort of, really bad thing, as long as I'm not like, I didn't kill that person or some such thing. So we think if I just say little things that aren't hurting anybody, what we would call white lies, and we think that's perfectly fine. Morally speaking, that may be fine, but to the universe, who's constantly listening, for the universe, it says, wait a minute, this guy's just is trying to separate himself or herself from what is. And as we start separating by saying, we're creating a reality that doesn't exist. I'm 5 minutes away when I'm actually 10 minutes away. Suddenly I've distorted truth. And now I'm no longer in alignment with truth. And therefore I'm no longer in alignment with the universe. Now, little by little, those things add up. Until after a while, it's the story of the boy who cried wolf. After a while, the villagers didn't believe him anymore. Similarly, after a while, the universe doesn't believe us anymore. So when we say things that are finally meaningful, I need this, God, I want this, I am, healthy, I'm joyful, I'm uplifted. Now the universe says, I don't believe you. There's no more power in our words anymore. And Patanjali says, when you perfect non-lying or truthfulness, whatever you say, the universe is obligated to manifest. And this is how saints live. When Christ spoke to Lazarus, who was dead for 3 days, and said, rise and walk out of your tomb, he rose and walked out of his tomb because that was the power of his word. When a saint says to somebody, you are well, they are well, not because some magic happened. The universe is forced. Because they have been in such harmony with truth, the universe now is forced to make true their words. And before we can even decide whether this affirmation is good for me or not, is this the right First question is there any power in your word at all? And in order to know that, you have to be very mindful of every word that you speak. So that's where we have to kind of stop and look and say, I can say all these prayers and they can sound wonderful. I can say all these really beautifully written affirmations, but is the universe listening?
I was thinking about how the universe not only listens to your words, but the intention behind them. That's what the universe recognizes and follows the most. So, the yamas and niyamas, the ability to speak truth, is the foundation of any spiritual path. If you want to succeed in whatever you do, if truth is not there, there are very little chances that you will succeed. So let's all come back to the essence of any spiritual path, which is, do I mean what I say? Is this truthful? Is this uplifting? Is this beneficial? Every word that we put into manifestation has the power to uplift or to bring the energy down, above all, within ourselves. Every day, I try to be so conscious of what I say, because I know whatever I will say, it will be registered in the ether. I was also thinking about the power of vows. Your words carry commitment. If I say I will do this, I need to move heaven on earth to make it happen. If I don't develop that, do you think your prayers are going to be powerful? Do you think that asking to the universe, I want this, I want that, is going to be magnetic enough? The universe won't believe you anymore. Your words will be weak. Therefore, let's start living our lives more mindful. Every word counts. And then if we add the thought that will reinforce, the intention that will reinforce that word, believe me, we will have the power to, in fact, attract, manifest, and visualize and create things in our lives by just saying them, by just mentioning them. The foundation of the spiritual path is the ability to speak not just truth, but to follow that truth.
Truth, as Narayani was saying, isn't just factual, first and foremost. We have to always try our best to speak from a higher and a higher truth as we are able to see it. So, Swami Kriyananda, our teacher, would give this little comical example that if your friend of yours is in the hospital and is all bandaged up, and you don't go in there and say, because I have to speak truth, I say, oh my goodness, you look horrible, oh no, it doesn't look like you're going to make it. That's not what truth is. You have to find a way to both bring into alignment what's true from a higher perspective and what's actually going to uplift and benefit. So even to ourselves, in the name of truth and self-honesty, it's important that we don't force the energy downward. But whatever we say, so even if you say, for example, I don't feel quite right now, but I want to feel better. And that's a great truth, because you do want to feel better. And that leaves the energy on a slightly higher vibration than on, this is exactly how I am right now, so therefore I have to be factual in this moment. This kind of anecdote from Socrates' life about, the triple filter test. the 3 tests that he asked his disciple when his disciple was going to give him some news that had completely shaken the disciple was, first, is it true? To your knowledge, is it 100% true? Then, is it good? Is it going to be a good thing that you're telling me, or are you going to tell me something? And then, is it beneficial in the sense, will I gain from this experience that you will share? It won't enrich me in any way. So that's a wonderful way for us to look at our words, look at our thoughts even from that perspective. So when you're trying to be self-honest, don't, in the name of self-honesty or honesty with others, kind of use that as another means to give factual information that in fact brings their energy down, brings your own consciousness down.
Being honest with yourself, it's not just, I don't feel good. I don't feel good right now. I want to feel better. But we often just stop at that, oh, I'm sick. Not like I'm sick, I'm getting better. I'm going to change my diet. I realize this is not working for me.
Swami Kriyananda used to say, like, always change the sentence and put it in a positive way. For example, rather than saying, I have failed, just tell to yourself, I have not yet succeeded, which is true, but it's a completely different way of seeing the same situation from a different perspective. Coming back to the power of communicate truth, which I feel is an art. In the book Autobiography of a Yogi, there is a moment when Yogananda's guru was trying to correct Yogananda's ways of communicating other devotees within the ashram. And Swami Sri Yukteswar, Yogananda's guru, gave this particular way to approach and how to communicate truth. And these are his words. He says, Sri Yukteswar, good manners without sincerity are like a beautiful dead lady. A straightforwardness without civility is like a surgeon's knife, effective but unpleasant. Candor with courtesy is helpful and admirable. This is a wonderful quote and perhaps a mantra.
Amazing. I can truthfully say this is very powerful, and I know people will benefit from it a lot. Can you maybe guide us into a meditation that helps us tune into this frequency?
Let's close our eyes. Straight spine and chest open. Let's create a bridge between our heart and our throat. These two chakras should be in perfect harmony, so we don't communicate just sounds, but intentions empowered by the heart. Let's visualize a thread of light from the heart, an energy of truthfulness, power, and let's lift that energy, that thread of light to the heart, from the heart to the throat, infusing the throat with calmness, vibrations of kindness, compassion, understanding. And then let's visualize ourselves sharing those vibrations through our mouth, in an uplifting way, benefiting and encouraging others, inspiring them, letting them know that we say what we mean, that we are committed to our word, that we resonate with truth. And let not only the other person feel that truth, but let the universe know that you are truth. Let truth be your guide, your guru, your pole star in everything you do. And whenever you are ready, open your eyes and let this day be a new incarnation, a new opportunity to live by truth alone.
Please stay in this meditative space for as long as you need and come back to us when you're ready for the next episode. Bye for now.